you change the word woman, legally it has implications. Okay. Sexually it has implications.
But the word woman has changed throughout histories, throughout different cultures. Indigenous people have had different...
Attention to reality, you know, they get demonized, and I'm just one of these soldiers out here trying to bring attention back to reality.
Or what the hell she asked? I was waiting for her.
She's talking about the beauty standard.
These black folks' minds are so warped. I understand why this particular person, the one in the blue, would say that, because she's trying to maximize her pool of potential suitors. So Jubilee put out that other feminism debate between the men, which was cool. But I think I even said in that video, I would have preferred watching women have the debate. So here we go. Female feminists versus anti-feminists. And they've already done the pleasure of identifying different parts of the video. And the one that got my attention is feminism that doesn't include trans women isn't feminism, which is cap. Yeah, I mean? Yeah, so this is going to be juicy. Let's get it.
Feminism that doesn't include trans women isn't feminism.
So those are all the feminists right there.
You surprised to see me here?
No.
Okay, good.
You know, it's really important to include trans women and trans people and gender nonconforming people, which, by the way, I am gender queer myself.
Of course
I don't actually identify as a woman. It's really important that those of us who do have privilege.
So that means, that she, I mean, I don't know what to call this person now, Ricky, because she don't identify as a woman. So am I even allowed to call her a she? Whatever. She can show her titties on Instagram. You know, they just, I don't know if they've already unbanned trans women and non-binary women's titties, but clearly this is a woman. This is off topic a little bit, man, but I just did a video, bro, and that whole shit is confusing as hell, dog. She is a woman. Don't identify as a woman. Clearly she's born a woman. She can show the titties on Instagram now. Just that easy, bro. Just that easy.
Speak up for trans women in the community.
Trans women should have their own. It should be trans feminism. Like, have your own shit, man. Stop bogarting women shit, bro. But I'm not here for me. I'm here for them to see how the women gonna talk about it. But whatever, let's go.
Because they're the most at risk for hate crimes.
I also want to just level set and say that we are having this conversation without trans women.
As y'all should.
Do we know that? For sure.
I identify as trans.
She identifies as non-binary, and she's on a feminist panel.
My pronouns.
So maybe she doesn't belong here either. They don't belong here.
Plot twist, I am biologically female, and I'll never deny that.
Ooh, she said she's non-binary and she's over here being a feminist, so she don't belong. That's a bar. Like, you don't even identify as a woman. So what you up here speaking on feminism issues? I mean, you could be male feminist, but these are all women, right? But she's not a woman. So, and the other girl ain't a woman either. So like, this shit is confusing, bro. I'm about to take my hat off and throw that bitch. This shit is so confusing.
Lived as a woman for most of my life. I am 31. I only came.
Like, yeah, you lived as a woman most of your life, but you still gonna be a woman to whomever you encounter, because you look like a woman, you sound like a woman, right? You still gonna be a woman. It's in your head, but everybody's gonna treat you like a woman. Say all this identifying shit all you want, but you still dress like a woman, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like,
came out.
I called her bruh, but
Years ago, I spent a lot of time, you know, the majority of my life in these spaces with women. That does give me a kind of unique perspective now, being a trans non-binary person.
You're still a woman,
There's an issue with categorizing womanhood as a means of female. Earlier, it was mentioned by somebody on the anti-trans side about trans women coming in and taking over sports and things like that, which is just not true.
That is true.
It's not.
It is. I can show you a number of cases.
I can show you
there might be people that
science.
also haven't.
No, I can show you a number.
Trans women retain 30% of their biological advantage.
That is not
if
true.
They went through male puberty. Yes, it is.
That is.
Yes, it is.
That is not.
Let's not argue it. That's not even the prompt. So we're not going to argue about that.
Because you're wrong.
If you.
Here we go. I mean, I guess because she don't identify. Fuck that, man. Like, you were born, you're biologically a woman sitting here trying to destroy what a woman is. All these motherfuckers out here sitting here trying to say that women should have no fear of trans women competing in sports. Y'all have lost y'all damn mind, and y'all just that far off y'all rocket that y'all refuse to see the truth because it doesn't fit your damn narrative. You on this shit like trans women are women so they can do whatever the fuck they want regardless of the damage that they damn do. Denial like a motherfucker. That shit is so frustrating, bro. I don't gotta be a woman to be frustrated about that shit, bro. I can just imagine myself being in that position when I have something that is not me trying to be me, competing with the shit that I'm supposed to be in, and you over here just knocking everybody block off because you have the physical advantage, bro. That would piss me off. That would piss me off. Fortunately, men don't have to fucking go through that because you don't see women in here dominating men's sports. It's just not gonna happen because what? That biological difference. That would be frustrating as shit, dog. That's why all women should just fucking quit. Have your own leagues and write up your own regulations and shit and requirements and say if your ass was born with a damn dick, you cannot compete.
Are a trans woman and you walk out in the world and you are seen as a man, you do not belong in women's spaces.
Facts.
I don't care what anybody says. I think that's ridiculous, and I think even trans women that have gender dysphoria that go through transition will agree with me.
This makes me so incredibly uncomfortable that we're even having this conversation.
You could go back
about
over
that.
there if you really want to.
If we took all of that off the table, right? If we're not talking about who can play sports with whom, can people exist as who they are?
Absolutely.
It sounded like you were saying if a trans woman doesn't look like what you perceive as looking like a woman, they shouldn't be in feminist spaces.
That ain't what she
I said they
said.
shouldn't be in female spaces.
Okay.
Not feminist spaces.
Okay.
I think women.
I disagree with that, but
that's
okay.
fine. It makes sense to biologically classify people. It also makes sense to socially classify people. Let's say my friend Blair White was sitting right here. That's my buddy. I love her. She's sitting right here. Do I think she lives her life as a man? No. Like we were talking about men making decisions for women as far as abortions are concerned. That's something she'll never experience.
There are women who biologically cannot produce. There are females, people assigned female at birth, who
Yes.
biologically cannot produce. Are you saying that those female women should not be able to have say in those laws
That's
either?
not what I'm saying at all. I guess my main issue.
Where the hell did she even pull that from, though? That what did that have to do with what she said at all?
With trans women being seen as women and not being seen as trans women is they're changing the definition of women and expecting everybody to go along with that. And that
Facts.
affects me, yes they are, and that affects me directly. You say trans women are women are trans women. It's a very different
It's
experience.
so crazy how these women are so easy to just relinquish womanhood. Like, here, you can have it, just take it. Makes you feel better, you can be within this group. Just take it. Take what the fuck a woman is. We can just make it whatever the fuck it want to be. A woman can be a whole pizza now. You know what I mean?
Women are women.
We're just gonna agree to disagree with that. If you ask feminists at a women's march what a woman is, they can't even define it. How can you protect
like her.
something and empower something that you
I like
don't even know
Ariel.
the actual definition of?
Well, I will say J.K. Rowling calls herself a feminist and was canceled for not being pro-trans, which is kind of overtaking and reversing some of the work feminists have done in the past.
She's a billionaire.
Well, they
She's
criticize her.
Fine.
What does Rawlings being a billionaire have to do with anything? She still fucking received heat for speaking her truth. Since you have money, it's okay for you to be attacked because you can deal with it. Nah, fuck that. That's not how the way this shit work, bro.
She's fine.
Her billionaire
fine.
feelings are hurt. I'm so saddened for her.
Feminist movement does not allow anyone to have any other opinions but what you guys
But what
think
does
is
that mean,
correct.
though? Because
Facts.
she's
So it-
allowed to have that opinion, and she
get attacked
still
for
makes
it.
a bunch of money.
Yes, she does.
What do trans women take away from women in the feminist movement?
The
Everything.
definition of words and what that means
Everything.
and how that affects us directly.
Can you expand on that?
Yes, when you change the word woman, legally it has implications. Sexually it has implications.
But the word woman
directly
has changed throughout histories, throughout different cultures. Indigenous people have had different.
Why we fucking here pushing the goalpost talking about indigenous people in other cultures? That ain't got shit to do with Western society. Nothing to do with it. As far as Western society has been concerned since the beginning of this shit, it's been men and women. That's it. Now we got trans women, they got trans men. They can have their own groups. Fuck that. No, this inclusivity shit is nonsense, bro. Especially when it causes the dismantling of what a fucking woman is. Can't imagine someone here trying to attack your identity, take what your identity is away. Just what we are, bro. Motherfuckers so goddamn soft that they're just willing to relinquish everything to make everybody fucking feel better, which is dangerous, bro.
Different genders, different different ways
Has
of looking at
nothing to
gender.
do with America.
The Torah specifically has 8 different genders, and we have recognized that for over 3,000 years. You're denying anybody's
Ain't got shit to do with
culture
America.
that does not agree with your perception and your
Ain't got
worldview,
shit to do with Western
because
society.
you hold so highly onto your identity and you see it as an attack on who
So
you
do you-
are.
99.9% of other women see it as an attack as well. Well, maybe not that fucking high because you got these weird ass feminists like this. I wonder what the percentage is. But I'm sure, I'm positive, like the vast majority of women see this trans agenda as a direct attack on womanhood.
All of
On sexual orientation.
so do feminists as a
But
whole,
it's
though.
nothing to do with sexual
It has
orientation.
exactly to do with sex. When you change the word woman and a lesbian is a woman that is attracted to women, how is that not directly affecting us?
Facts. Talk that shit.
What defines a woman is
Born
being
with lady
born
parts.
with biological women's parts, and that is what a woman is.
Facts.
And trans women
Are not women.
individuals who choose to live their lives as women.
they ain't
and,
women.
And I honor that. And everyone
gotta be nice,
deserves
they ain't
dignity and
women.
respect, and I mean that. But at the same time, there are universal truths, and we have, as a society, gotten to this confusing tangled place where there's your truth, your truth, your truth, your truth. There is one objective truth in what we are.
Can you explain to me the women in Guatemala who are born female, who are assigned female at birth?
What does these exceptions have to do with the rule? That's always the case, bro. That's always the case. Every time we have these debates where we're talking about like generalizations to apply to the majority, motherfuckers always use the exceptions, always use the small percentages of examples to try to overrule the fucking rule, which is stupid. You can never have an argument like that because they're gonna pull every little inkling of anything to prove they little position they have on this point, which is irrelevant. What is what she say? Intersex individual? What the hell they got to do with a fucking woman? Intersex legitimately means you can identify with whatever the fuck. You're an exception. Like we're not talking. That's not what trans is, right? That's not what trans is. Trans is when the identity, what you identify as. You got fucking both a vagina and a penis. You entirely something different. It's a whole different conversation.
And then during puberty, grow penises? Can you
I've
explain
never,
that?
I can't explain it
That
because I don't
sounds
know
like more than
anything
that
about
sounds like an
that.
intersex condition.
You
Facts.
try to, I get how feminists always try to tell us how we should live our life. I said I was a raging feminist. She goes, I don't believe that.
I don't see that.
I don't-
I know in what you've been saying, I can't see any traces of feminism in
My
what you're
mother
saying.
is literally.
We
the
heard a lot about your
poster
mom, but
of
what about
feminism.
you?
I am a woman. Looking at me, I am a woman, born and
They getting
raised
tight,
a
huh?
woman.
Getting
Why
hot.
are we trying to write women, born biological women? Why are you trying to write us out of history?
Facts.
You guys keep saying that there's a biological reality of male and female. Scientists do not agree with you.
scientists that you choose to agree with. I mean, you can find a study and a scientist to back up anything you want to prove.
Well,
these
fact.
days.
I choose to do peer-reviewed studies and not ones that are backed by political agenda. And I'm sorry that my peer-reviewed studies tend to agree with the fact that trans women are women. And
Shut up, bro. Shut up, man. All right, this one sounded like it was a doozy. She gonna sit here try to chump this girl off saying, "Well, my bias as scientific data that was reviewed by peers, peer review." Like her shit ain't peer review, but it's just because your shit fits your narrative and your shit is peer review makes your scientific fact better than hers. You can find peer reviewed shit anywhere to fucking prove different points. It doesn't matter, man. It don't matter. It doesn't even matter the fuck I said that shit, man. This conversation went nowhere, didn't it? It went nowhere, bro. It went nowhere, dog. Please let me on one of these motherfuckers. Please let me on one of these little jubilees, bro. I'm trying to give motherfucker the business. Anyway, bro. Yeah. It's entertaining though.